What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. Happy New Year to all of you, and welcome to my first carries of the month video for 2022. I'm going to be doing top carries from December, which is honestly a little off from what I think would be accurate of how I carry my knives, and that's due to the fact that I did pick up some knives that had come back into stock. I think some manufacturers were able to get them in stock right before the holidays. Very well planned on their effort to get those knives available to folks. Some others were due to sales, and that kind of altered my carry a little bit because I was trying to get a feel for after unboxing, because I try not to go too long on knives when I come back to do the full review, so I can give you good details kind of like in what I think is a timely manner. But sometimes it takes a little bit longer depending on, exclusives, different variants. Sometimes the honeymoon phase lasts a little bit longer than it does others because I have this built up in my mind. So some of them take a little bit longer than others, long story short. But let me go ahead and get into the top carries for December 2021, even though we're in 2022. And I'm going to start by going in reverse order. So the number 10 carry is the Kershaw Sheep Dog without the flipper tab. This is the thumb hole variant. It has a 3.3 inch 154 cm blade steel, which is a really good budget steel. I like 154 a lot. It is very well rounded. It has a 4.39 inch micarta handle, coming in at a total length of 7.7 inches and weighing in at 4.4 ounces. Very respectable. Bearings in the pivot give this superb action. The thumb hole gives it a whole new fidgetability feature to me. I really do like that a lot. It's very snappy, very easy to use. It doesn't require a whole lot of effort to reverse flip, which I like. You just get your meat right in that thumb hole, push up, and pow, pops right out. I like the satin pivot with the matte pivot collar. I think that looks really good. It is not reversible, so that is a downturn for lefties. I like the fact that they kind of give it a little bit of a swedge, so it comes up, flattens out, and it has a little bit of swedge. That really this thing really cuts through some cardboard. Like the edge on it's really well done. Again, 154 cm performs really well. Keep your eye out though if you don't like the black. I know of at least 2 other variants that are going to be coming out in the not too distant future. So that is number 10. And I will try to move a little bit more quickly through the others because I realized just now I did spend a little bit of time on that one. Next up at the number 9 spot is going to be my Benchmade Bug Out. This one here has the Virginia Tech color themes. It is a 3.24 inch S30V blade steel. Wrong side. Hopefully you can see that there. It has 4.25 inch Flytanium G10 handles, but I do have a little bit of an upgrade coming up to this. Overall length on the Bug Out, 7.46 inches, and coming in at an ultra lightweight 2.3 ounces. So a very lightweight carry, very nice carry. Those aftermarket Omega springs still holding up longer than the factory springs are. In the number 8 spot, and that is the Savivi Mini Astacus. This one is done in a Damascus steel. The blade length is 3.25 inches. It's a hollow grind with a swedge. This is a very slicey knife and performs very, very well. Very impressed with Savivi's Damascus, which is their non-CR. They did a really good job with it. The wood handles come in at 4.3 inches. Overall length is 7.55 inches, and it is coming in at a very lightweight 3.02 ounces. If you don't like the Damascus in the wood, they do have G10 variants with 10 CR blade steel, which is not in the same family as the 9 and the 8 CR. So you can check those out. Those are very well done, and I really can highly recommend those. Coming in at the number 7 spot is a knife that I did pick up around the holidays, and I did carry it a little bit more to try to test and get ready for the review video, but in all honesty, I continue to carry it because I really like this. I think this is a really good tool. I don't think people are probably aware of it as much as they should be, and I think part of that is because it only has one deployment method. But number 7 is the QSP Gannet. This one here has a 3.25 inch 154 cm blade steel, which I mentioned on the Sheepdog. I really do like this blade steel. It performs really well. It's very well rounded, and both Kaiser and QSP have done phenomenal work with their 154 cm. I'm familiar with it also because it's on the titanium Penguin. The handles are 3.5 inches. They're done with this very beautiful micarta with a carbon fiber bolster. So the micarta feels like snake skin, looks like wood grain. Really nicely done. I love the way that they did the raindrop, and this carbon fiber has that soft textury finish to it. So the grip in hand is awesome. The ergos are really good. If you don't mind that it's only a front flipper, this is highly recommendable. Overall length is that it's right in that sweet spot. I love 7.5 to 8 inch length knives for my hand. Those are like the perfect length I've found, especially if the knife to blade ratios are really well done. 3.44 ounces, again, feels really good in hand. Really nice access to the liner lock. A little stiff because I'm still breaking it in, but the jimping is my favorite kind of jimping on the front flippers. It makes it so that it's not like really chewing into your finger, and all of the deployment methods are really nice. Now, a knock on it is that it's not reversible deep carry pocket clip, and the accents are all chrome, which I think, you know, can be a love or hate thing, but for me, I think it looks really good. It's very minimal, which is tastefully done. You see it in the liners and a little bit of minimal hardware, but again, what a good looking knife. That is my number 7 carry from December. The number 6 is going to be the Savivi Cogent. That's probably not going to be a surprise to anyone. I did pick up that purple because of the pop of color that it gives to my rotation. I really just like that a lot. I did that with the Baby Banter 2 as well, and not that there's a Model 2, but I did that with the Baby Banter as well, and I really just like it. I think it looks really good, and it's a nice little way to kind of mix up my rotation so it's not really stale. A lot of the channels that I watch get stuck on that titanium carbon fiber carry, like they have something against G10 or wood or whatever, or micarta. So I really like this, and the G10 is really well done. The ratios, 3.47 inch 14C 28N, excellent blade steel. Savivi does a phenomenal job with their 14C 28N. The G10 handles are 4.41 inches. They do have micarta with Damascus versions out there, which I do like Savivi's Damascus. They do a nice job making it look nice, but still giving it a working finish so that you can use your knife and not worry about it ever looking bad. Those polished Damascus on the Damon steel look good, but I wonder how long they would hold up if you were really using them every day to break down your boxes. I don't know. I don't have them. I'm just saying I wonder. I think I said this, overall 7.88 inches and a very respectable 3.7 ounces because it does have full steel liners. They're not inset. It does have nice thick G10 handles that are chamfered so that you don't feel the edges anywhere on this. And it's a little bit thicker because I believe, you know, with this type of knife and this type of, you know, this much steel, you can really use this with confidence. My button lock has no lock stick. The deployment sounds really good. You can deploy it with just the button lock, but I actually enjoy using the flipper tab. It's really well tuned. If you do have lock stick, just keep using it. It'll go away. A little bit of lock stick in the beginning is a good thing because that means later on you won't develop any kind of rock. No, I still don't have any. I mean, this knife is really well tuned. That is my number... Where am I? Oh, number 6 carry. Yeah. My number 6 carry from December 2021, even though we're in 2022. Still can't believe we're in 2022. All right, so in the number 5 spot is going to be another knife that I picked up during the holidays that finally came in stock, but I think I picked this up closer to the November timeline. The number 5 knife is going to be my Spyderco Shaman. The Shaman has a 3.61 inch S30V blade steel. It has 4.41 inch G10 smooth G10 handles, by the way. It has an overall length of 8.31 inches, definitely the biggest knife that I carry, but the ratios feel pretty good. I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. And it is a little bit heavier, but still coming in at a respectable 5.24 ounces. So it does have more weight, but it's very well balanced, so it doesn't feel heavy in hand. Phosphor bronze washers, but still Spyderco and their phosphor bronze washers with their compression lock, always really well tuned. Let's see. It's been a minute since I tried to do the front flip. Yeah, there we go. That's how well that jimping on the back is done. That I can actually, not intended as a front flipper, but you can front flip with it. You know how I feel? I feel like they could have just brought this, and I mentioned that in my review video, they could have brought this edge up, put your fingers right about here, brought the blade back to about here, and shortened that finger choil. It doesn't need to be that big, and giving you a little bit more cutting edge. That is my number 5 carry for December. So we're getting into the top 5, everyone. There we go. Look at that, fit well. Hadn't tried it like that before. I'm just trying to figure out a way that I can get them all in here. At the number 4 spot, the Protec Malibu. This Malibu, you've probably seen a lot if you've been watching my channel for a little while, has a 3.3 inch 20 CV blade, 4.25 inch aluminum handles, overall length 7.5 inches, and weighing in at a very lightweight 2.99 ounces. This is another button lock that was really popular in 2021, justifiably slow. That has a little lock stick, you hear it? Just a hint. And I use this a lot, but it doesn't affect the performance, and I kind of honestly like the fact that you get that audible noise when you hit it. It just kind of adds to the mechanical feel to it. But it's not really bad. Doesn't bother me at all. The aluminum is a little bit slick, but with the ergos, when you're using it in hand, doesn't feel like it's going to go anywhere. And I like this for an EDC. Some of these knives are a little bit heavier use. Some of these knives are a little bit more of an EDC knife, and even one or two, actually, these two both could be considered formal office carry knives. This one here is an EDC that I think could flex into that office formal grouping or label, depending on what you want to call that. But this is my number 4 carry for December 2020. Coming in at number 3 should be no surprise. I got this late. I needed to spend a lot of time with it to try to figure out how I felt about it for the review video, and I also did a mod video on it, so it did get a lot of pocket time. It might be a little bit higher on the list. We'll have to see. Time will tell how it performs in the long run. We'll see what it looks like when it gets closer to a mid-year, end of year 2022, and if knife makers can come out with any other sort of variants of knives that might interest me more. The number 3 spot goes to the Demco AD20.5. It has a 3.2 inch Austin done in a clip point. It has 4.5 inch handles. I did upgrade to the fat carbon fiber from Carbidized. Overall length is 7.7 inches and a very respectable 3.52 ounces. I have grown to like the Shark Lock more and more as it's broken in, as I've gotten used to it. The operation's really good. It was very stiff and a little awkward at first, but once I got used to it and familiar with it, I've grown to appreciate it a whole lot. This one here is just as thin as the bug out, so I love that for an EDC knife. Minimal footprint in pocket while maintaining good ergonomics and comfort in hand, and it is confident inspiring when you're using this knife to break down cardboard boxes, get into packages, whatever you're using it for. It is very comfortable. You can reverse flick and thumb flick from the thumb hole, but I think I actually prefer the thumb studs in this instance because they're really well done. They're put at a nice angle where you can get to them very easily over top of the scales. I do like the Lynch Northwest deep carry pocket clip on here. I think it adds a little bit of pop of color to the dark carbon fiber. So do the little splashes of purple. That is my number 3 carry from December 2020. And again, I think it is high because of the fact that in December I was trying to get a feel for some of the knives that I picked up recently, which kind of threw the list off a little bit. I think it'd still be in the top 10, but I think it's a little high. And again, that's because I was trying to test it out and get used to it for the review video. Not coming in because it was in any kind of review period, but because I simply prefer this knife a lot for my EDC carry. That is going to be the Spyderco Yojimbo 2, which has a 3.125-inch 20 CV blade, 4.5-inch G10 handles, coming in at an overall length of 7.6 inches and weighing in at a very respectable 4 ounces. As you can see here, I'm using this more and more and more as I carry it, so it's starting to get the little battle scars, as I like to call them, from where it's being used, but the coating is holding up. It has not scratched down to the metals, and that's really all I'm looking for from my coated blades. I don't really care about them maintaining a certain type of look. That doesn't bother me. This lets me know that it's getting used and used a lot. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. Again, like the Shaman, phosphor bronze washers, fall shut action, really well done. You can just deploy this in all the ways that you can the Spyderco. Excellent ergonomics. I really just love this knife. The ergos are fantastic from an EDC perspective. Have not dropped it. I know I worry about that on the tip because I see some folks that are like, oh my god, I dropped it and it chipped and I had to reprofile it. It hasn't happened to me. I am careful, which I think most people are with their knives, so it's not an issue for me, and has not been a factor for me. So that's my number 2 carry. No surprise for my number 1 spot either, because I really just love this knife. So much so that I actually awarded it my 2021 New Knife of the Year knife, and that is the MKM Gocha. This is actually the Gocha. I just like saying Gocha because I think it sounds better. This has a 3.25-inch M390 blade steel. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. I'll zoom in. It has 4.6-inch titanium handles. Overall length 7.9 inches, coming at a very respectable weight of 4.77 ounces, considering that they are not milled at all. These are just slabs of titanium. The texturing is awesome on these. Even if you get the micarta variant of this knife is phenomenal value. You get titanium backspacer, deep carry pocket clip, and titanium pivot with pivot collar with the M390 and micarta, which is really well done from MKM. I just wanted to upgrade in this instance to the titanium because I really think this is going to be a hand-me-down knife that my kids will get. That I really, really like, but I do use this knife. The finish on it has held up really well. I literally can break down some boxes and just clean off the blade, and it has no marks on it. The M390 seems to be really well done. It slices really well, surprisingly so when you consider how thick that blade stock is. I don't have any paper out here. I have some paper that I have like tested on a million other knives out here, but I mean, it just slices like surprisingly well for such a thick blade stock. But that is my number 1 carry knife, which is kind of weird that it's off to the side like that with this layout, but oh well, it is what it is. That's my top 10 carries for December. A lot of good knives got left off of here. A lot of knives that I really like got left off of here. Some of it because of testing, some of it because it's really hard to choose some weeks what I want to carry, especially on the weekend. Let me know what you guys liked most that you may have picked up in December, or what you've had that you carried the most in December. I definitely like to know, because it helps me if I'm leaning on the fence about a knife that I might not have picked up yet that I might be interested in. Maybe it's a knife I don't know about. I've had that happen a couple times here in recent months, and they're not new knives. They've been around for a little while. Just there's so much variety, it's hard to get to them. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, leave a like. It helps me with the algorithm on YouTube. If you enjoy the content, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. I'd love to keep growing this channel. I am so grateful for all the support. I hope you all have a fantastic week. And until next time, peace.